we talked about her really for the last 2 hours. Yeah. Claudia popped off. She went plus 17 throughout the series. So it wasn't Claudia who was the problem in their first matchup. If Claudia keeps fragging out like that, it's going to be a good series.
Yes. All right. Well, speaking of, let's take a look at 2 players, one from either team, and see just how much impact they can put into this matchup moving forward, as we've been able to see them in these previous matchups for themselves respectively, to be bringing you this beautiful graphic with all of the intel that we're going to be speaking on. Should be on your screens very shortly so that we can talk over that. And this is going to be Lori of Shopify Rebellion versus CLG Red Benita. We were talking about it. We just saw Benita working her magic, doing what she does. Ooh, when she's on Reyna, it is watch out. And then of course Lori as well. I mean, Lori here with Raze, but hopping off his jet at times as well. Ooh, Potter. I mean, the numbers here, what do they speak to you though?
Man, it's got to be the fact that both of these ladies do not back down. For Lori's sake, that first day, I think she was struggling a little bit to get into the series, to get invested and to bring out the frags. But the fact that they just kept going in, kept getting involved, did not falter, stuck to the game plan, you can see it. These ladies are absolutely successful at just applying that sort of pressure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I know you're a Yoru stan, Doug, but I mean, what about Reyna? We don't really see her a whole lot. I feel like, as opposed to before, previously, yeah. I feel like Reyna was almost a given. You needed one. But we're seeing that not as often. But Benita playing on the Reyna, moving forward into this matchup for now. This is, again, we were saying, one of these 2 teams are going to be going home as well and not being able to play for the $20,000 top prize. So will Reyna come into play? Now, not sure, of course, because we're not future tellers at this point, but we're going to see that here very shortly, as the map pick bans are going to be coming up to your eyeballs very shortly. So let's just see how that is going to be faring for these 2 teams. I'm really excited, I'm not going to lie, because I'm waiting for history to be disrupted. We have Breeze in play, right? This is not what we had going down in Game Changers 1. So Doug, what was that about?
So the two of the first 3 maps it's an exact repeat of what they had in the first series. They started off in Icebox and then they went to Split. Breeze is the one exception. They played Bind last time. This time they are going to go to Breeze, and Shopify Rebellion was able to jump out big in the first half against CLG Red on Icebox. When I say big, I mean like 6-1 big. It was an excellent first half for them. So I think if you're them, you want to kick it off that way, right? Like you want to get the ball rolling again. CLG have shown that they're certainly capable of reacting to momentum, of making things happen. If you're SR, put the foot on the throat. Don't let him breathe.
Any words here for us, Potter, on as far as not only the maps and what Doug was saying, but also in the fact that CLG just got done playing a matchup and now they're jumping right into the next one?
Yeah, no, they're definitely warmed up. I think we definitely saw that happening on that server. I guess my biggest worry on Icebox is that for Shopify Rebellion, they've been playing around with the compositions a bit. They were missing a Sky and they were missing a Sova. I think you have to have one or the other. Even both is what's meta right now. So it's confusing that they didn't have any information seekers. They were very lacking in that, so their attack just fell short every time. So I'm expecting a change. I think they need to, but hey, maybe they're very confident in whatever game plan they've cooked up here.
Yeah, I'm trying to take a look here and see. I mean, there's been a lot of conversation and chatter around Viper too. Can we talk a little bit about that, Doug? Do you see Viper being integral into this map pool going in to where these squads are going to be needing to have Viper online, or is it just kind of whatever, play your game?
1000% Viper is a must pick, especially in this meta. I firmly believe that if you're not playing Viper, you're behind the times and everybody is going to outpace you. I think she's so pivotal in controlling space and denying information, and her post plants are some of the best, right? Like, she can offer the same control and the same denial of info that you get out of an Omen, but she can also provide the same post plant situations and damage that you get out of a Sova, or you get out of Phoenix or a KJ or something like that. She's such a complete package, in my opinion, that if you're not playing her again, you're late.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm looking at Shopify Rebellion's comps in what they played generally, and I'm not seeing a whole lot of Viper. sometimes, but mostly not. And so that, I don't know, we'll see. Obviously, this is the time we've been seeing it map by map, or I'm sorry, matchup by matchup. Teams are obviously deciding to change it up, as we saw with the Yoru picks, and also with one person in specific on the squad deciding to take on another agent. Again, it's that whole evolve or die theme, right, guys? So is it time, though, moving forward, right? Like, what was the first map again? Remind me again.
Icebox.
Icebox. All right. So yes, on Icebox, you definitely need Viper. Okay. With that said, they definitely both do that. So hopefully they stick to that. But imagine, you think a Yoru could come into play here? You think they could throw something squirrely there?
Potter, I'd love your thoughts. I don't think so. She touched on so many key agents that are needed. That's a tough call.
Yeah, I think if Haven was going to be played again, I wouldn't doubt it, actually. I think Yoru just excels. He shines on Haven. He's able to just really disrupt and break all of the KJ setup all by himself, right, with those footsteps. So I've faced off against some clever Yorus on Haven, and I think it's a map where he's able to shine. But because we're not seeing that, I don't think we're going to see Yoru. Maybe there's a case to be made for Breeze. Bind is decent, but there's just better options on Bind, I think, than a Yoru. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe they will. Listen, if they don't change their icebox and they still maintain their composition, there's no Sky, there's no Sova, then yeah, maybe they will bust out the Yoru again.
What do you think? I want to know in watching. So we've been fans of Claudia, obviously, watching her pop off. Okay, I'm going to go to you, Potter, then on this, because we know how she likes to play. She's on that op. She's super aggro. How does one stop that? How do you counter that if you're the other team?
I mean, we're looking at It Not Han, right? Or Lori. I think both of these ladies have been swapping off on those roles. Lori sometimes is on the Jet. It Not Han is sometimes on the Jet. One of these ladies have to go face to face. They've got to put a little bit of shakiness into Claudia's game plan, because again, their confidence right now is beaming. They've got to make them shook a little bit, at least some of these rounds, to make them second guess. Do I really want to take this duel? Do I really want to risk it all here in this fight? So something they got to step up.
Ooh, all right. Well, we can theory craft all day. Let's find out what's going to be happening with our first map here in the SIG Agent Selects. Potter, Doug, get it.
Thank you so much, Lucy. Again, history does have a propensity to repeat itself, or so they say. And in this case, that's exactly what's going to happen. CLG and Shopify Rebellion meeting in the lower bracket finals for a chance to the big dance with Cloud9 White. We're going to be kicking things off on Icebox. You see some of the picks already coming through. We talked about Viper already getting a bit of both, but Potter, you mentioned no Sova, no Sky on the side of SR, and they seem to be very okay with that.
Yeah, they seem to be so. And, you know, this tells me they're going to go very slow-paced, very default-heavy. They're going to have to get the information in other ways with their bodies, with some jiggle peeks, with some solid trades. Otherwise, their attack is just going to be halted once again. I mean, look, if It Not Han just pops off and Raze pops off and they're able to really make this Icebox their playground with the verticality, with the speed buffs that they have in their kit, then anything is possible, right? But if CLG do their due diligence and they're able to stop those small gimmicky plays, then information is what SR have to lean on.
Now, I alluded to this earlier, but not only is this a rematch between teams, and not only is it a bit of deja vu because we're seeing map 1 and 2 is the exact same, but we're also starting off on the exact same sides. And as we touched on earlier, Shopify Rebellion roared out of the gate to have a 6-1 lead by round 8. So, and that was with this comp. So there's something that they were able to exploit on the attack that caused fits for CLG, at least at the beginning. They cruised to a 9-4 half. We'll see what they cook up this time around. As is the case, we want to note the Viper utility, see where it's setting up. You've already got Panini who's walling off B. Look at the aggression from CLG. Oh man, they're sticking it to him.
Whoa, they're not stopping either.
So at this point, when you're pushing it aggressively like that, you're denying space, and that's forcing the attacking team to go elsewhere. And that's the thing, is if you go up towards middle, Naomi's locking that down the walls there as well. And if you go towards B, guess what? You've also got Panini, or excuse me, Rise there. Now she is going to have to back up a little bit to stay alive, but it's not easy. It's not effortless. Lori's already dropped. as Naomi gets the first kill of the series.
Oh, Flower Bowl really needed to win that duel there. Oh man, all 5 members of CLG, they're starting to pinch, they're starting to retake. The S-Star ladies are falling left and right, and
Ooh.
oh, Itnahan at least gets a frag there, but man, CLG, I don't know that at least 3 of these ladies ever stopped running. From the start of the round to the end of this round, they did not stop running, Doug.
Knives out, W held, no shift key in mind. CLG did win the pistol, and you're right. It was all aggression. We saw it right off the bat on A. They took the freaking scenic route to get back towards B as they went all the way around the map. But it was that you mentioned they never stopped running, right? Is that what it was? The aggression the entire time that Shopify Rebellion, while they found a way out of it, still weren't able to execute on. Now CLG is going to have better weapons as well. No aggressive dial-up, it looks like, this time around. Yeah, you see a Viper wall has gone up from Rise to make things a little bit tricky. The wall, the Sage wall, has gone up from Chobo as well. So difficult to deal with when you only have a pistol.
Does make Benita second guess the angle and pushes her off that, but yeah, this is maybe SR get away with the plant. The orb is a W. But CLG, they show them that. Oh, well,
Rise too. Look at Rise. So if you don't get past 410, there's really, you can get all the way up to 410, not make it past 410, and still not be any closer to the site, right? Like, it was almost as if though you hadn't really walked up ramp to begin with. But because of that the delay, excuse me, on 410, Rise was able to take a lot of that space away and pinch them back. So SR felt that pressure. They weren't able to rotate out. So they're committed here, at least for the next few seconds. Now, you cut noise, and the thing is, Rise had to go back. So they really have no info right now on whether or not Shopify Rebellion is pulled off.
30 seconds left.
That sound cue. Chobo absolutely heard that heal coming through, and a little powwow, a little delay from SR, but this should be an easy cleanup. Bonita, is she gonna crater? Oh my, that scared me.
What a shot. What a shot. Bonita picked up. The scare was there, but she calmed all nerves. She calmed all fears. CLG won the second. And again, Potter, I think the most impressive thing for me was how they played the map, how they applied pressure. We've already seen 2 different looks from different areas of the map with the same outcome. Control what the attacking team can do.
Yeah, exactly. You're spot on with that. And I mean, even you mentioned Rise pushing forward, getting that info. She quickly fell back, as you mentioned. But the thing is, CLG, they didn't bite at all. I mean, SR, they cut the noise.
Yep.
But CLG, they still maintained that 3 pyramid crossfire towards the A site, just making it so difficult for SR. And here's that default. And as I mentioned before, I mean, things just get slowed down insanely when you don't have the information, when you don't find the first initial kill. You don't have information. And if CLG are playing respectfully and disciplined, they shouldn't just give away. Wait, oh my.
Potter, CLG have made their intentions very clear. They're going to have one speed, one pace at which they play this, and it's going to be go. They took all of B, they took all of mid, and they were poised to set something up from the attacker spawn, but they all had to rotate back. So now Shopify Rebellion have gotten onto the site. They've gotten the spike down. It's going to be a retake attempt from defender spawn, which is not nearly as flashy, not nearly as spicy as it could be otherwise, and you're seeing some of that pay off. Bonita has to go big here. Ori looking for a little bit more. It's just down to Rise. Now, there are 3 of the 4 members of Shopify Rebellion are very weak. So it's difficult, but slightly doable. But their post plans are just too good here, Potter.
Too good. No utility either left over for Rise. And an awkward round, I have to say, for CLG. I don't know why Chobo was all alone on her lonesome at A with the Spectre, watching a long-range fight there.
Yeah.
I think if she had a teammate on top of Jen to take that pipe fight first so that she could take a close range fight near the orb, that probably could have worked out better. But as soon as that wall breaks, I think Chobo needed to get the heck out of there and regroup and create some sort of a different crossfire. But that's it. That's the opening SR absolutely needed. And there we go. I mean, Claudia, she's going to use her knives. This is some aggression. Oh, that turret.
Look at that cheeky spot. Not able to land anything. You look at the, I mean, the wall usage, the verticality to her play there, that was pretty. Didn't net, but it was still fun to look at. Benita with clean shots onto KP.
Oh,
Drops. Lori, good for 2. And the spike's still down. So they have to aggress. They have to disrupt some of the defensive positioning that CLG have before they move forward with the spike. Now you see that Flowerful's rotated over. She's got the spike, but at this point it's a 2v3. Lori does have the showstopper though. So there's a chance. Magic.
Oh, Claudia! Oh! Going in for more. She's good. Oh, man. I think the communication probably came through that Flowerful is low as well. And that's CLG. Man, so many different parts. I mean, the trades came out pretty decently for SR in the A site. But then the fact that Chobo re-aggresses in this hell area is able to wipe out, I believe it was It Not Han at default. Yeah, here it is. This was, man, that was everything. And Flowerful just limping, barely, with any HP left.
And we talked about the game plan for CLG going into this map. We just saw it in full display with Claudia. Misses the burst with the Blade Storm. It doesn't matter. She's going in aggressive anyway. Manages to land the shot with the Sheriff. You hear another Blade Storm has gone online, this time courtesy of It Not Han. As once again, they've got something cooking towards A. You see the Viper walls set up to deny entry into the back of A. But if you're not getting into 410, it's not going to matter. Lori going in aggressively with the showstopper. Drops, but not without taking Claudia with her.
And that's at least something. At least maybe now KP can put some clever wall, just cut off this gen completely, plant the spike. Oh, and the res comes through, but Benita!
Benita's in a great spot. Benita gets the second one as well, and she's going to dismiss away. That Empress is so difficult to deal with, but there was nowhere else for her to go. Now Rise is going to be rotating over. In a 1v2, you see Flowerful and KP have both backed off.
This time, at least Rise, she's got her E. She's got the Viper Wall to help her out. She's going to try to recharge it at least a little bit. Ooh, swatting across the ropes. If she finds this kill on KP, oh, the rope, the movement kind of messes with her spray. KP's able to clean that up, but there was a chance. There was absolutely a world where she gets that frag, her wall is recharged, she sticks it to half, but man, this round was... SR was at such a disadvantage, but somehow KP gets the spike down, is able to get the res off as well, and all of a sudden, Rise, I mean, because she's just been on her own island towards B all alone, not a lot of pressure towards there. The rotate, it comes super late.
Shopify Rebellion have found some recent success on A, and well, if it ain't broke, the old saying is, don't fix it, and that seems to be exactly the approach for them as they once again show heavy presence towards A. It Not Han's good for 1, make that 2 as Naomi and Claudia both drop. Again, the flank is gone. It seems like for CLG, they want to play aggressively through attacker spawn, but if they drop members before that hit goes off, they have to respect it. They have to back up. Take a look at Rise taking the long way, all the way back towards the site. You've got Benita and Rise with nothing but pistols. Make that just Rise. And again, she's going to show up very late to the party. So round should have gone in favor of Shopify Rebellion, and for all intents and purposes, it did in effortless fashion. A flawless round. Secret Lab Flawless coming through for Shopify Rebellion as we're tied up at 3 apiece.
Clean rounds coming up from the ladies. I'll be curious to see what Rise does to be a little bit more involved here. I mean, there was the one round where she was able to get a lot of information by pushing forward at B. Since then, there has just been absolutely no pressure coming her way. I'd like to see her come through, at least shoot at the Killjoy turret, maybe try to break it and then fall back. I think that'll apply a whole lot of different pressure, but here we go. An adjustment. Rise, she's going towards A, and it's going to be Benita who's probably going to try to see if she can play a little lurky, a little more aggressive towards B tunnel.
Well, now, and because of the angle of Rise's Viper Wall, they should have a very good idea that she's not playing at B anymore, that she's at A. Again, because of the angle at which it came through. Look at the wall aggression. You're going right up, right over the defenses that have been made as they work the middle of the map. Oh, this is going to be big. It's going to be big. A couple of kills traded. Claudia from up top gets the second one as well. Rise gets in on it. Spike is down, and it's in no man's land right now, Potter.
Viper switching back to A is, man, that's huge. The Q orb, it just takes up so much space. Panini is good for one, though. She's making this interesting. She's got a full minute on the clock here, Doug. She could really cause some damage, create some havoc, and Rise is good for it, though. Yeah.
Yeah, she made it interesting. There were just too many things going up against her in that moment. She did also have the Viper's Pit, so as you say, there was a world. But that world was not around this time around. So CLG still up 1. Claudia having a pop-off performance so far, as is almost expected out of her at this point to kind of stop the bleeding and get CLG back on top. For Shopify Rebellion, they've hit A lot. And by a lot, I mean the last 7 rounds. They've worked their way towards A in some form or fashion, and it looks like it's going to be the case again. As we mentioned, Rise flipping things around, this time using the Viper's Pit towards A, which, why not? We'll see how Shopify Rebellion chooses to play around it.
Claudia taking a lot of damage there from the start. Be able to get topped off by Chobo. A lot of ultimates online here for CLG as well. Should make things a lot more easy at least. But yeah, I'm just... Okay, here's some B pressure this time around. Benita's seeing some action. A little bit of jiggle. Oh, that's a shot.
Good night. Panini played with fire one time too many. She gave that jump peak like, what, 4 or 5 times? And it was just enough for Benita to land that shot. They're going to have to go B here again because of the Viper's Pit. There's no real entry towards that site. Benita feeling some of that pressure. Backs up with the op. Arrow miss the second time around.
Oh, Flowerful's lurk is huge, and the fact that Benita goes down, somehow SR making it into these sites, this time switching it up, going to B. Claudia's already so low. No armor to her knee. Naomi goes down as well.
That was the Hunter's Fury. What an adaptation from Shopify Rebellion. And it started off, like you said, getting Benita off the op. Dropping that gave them easy access onto the site. And then you had the attempted equalizer from Naomi to try to break things back in with the Hunter's Fury. Gets cleaned up before she gets the second charge off. And that's going to tie us up at 4. Shopify Rebellion, it looked rocky at first, but their adaptation has looked so good, Potter.
It has. I mean, it's just, these ladies are grouping up, even though Panini gets picked off with, I mean, a tough shot from Benita, but she gave her a lot of opportunities to hit that shot. And
she did.
The fact that they're still able to somehow convert, that's some fantastic trades coming out.
Oh, what? Look at the aggression from CLG. They took all of B long, and they get a kill.
Lori is so sad there.
I forgot, I'd be mad, man. What, the res is going to come through, and they should know where that is.
Maybe a little less sad now, or a little less mad. Ladies of SR, they're going to regroup and come back towards A. Flowerful's gotten a lot of ground, but man, look, 3 members of CLG are stacked towards here.
Showstopper coming through, no! Claudia just goes huge, stops that dead in its tracks, but it not Han goes in aggressively anyway, looking for a second, gets the third before dropping. And now the Viper's Pit's going to come through. Chobo and Rise into 2v3. They've also got the lockdown. The res is going to come through, potentially as bait. Surely. No, it's not challenged at all. So they're going to equalize numbers. Chobo good for 1 onto KP. Now numbers swinging in favor of CLG. As you've only got Flowerful who's off the site. There's the lockdown. They've got to have a really good idea of where she is now. Oh, she's got to go big. Panini gets one as well. It's just Rise with 1 HP. She gets cleaned up by the Nano Swarm of all things. Shopify Rebellion. It started off bad, and then it got good, and then it went bad, and they finished off good after all.
I think that's the perfect way to describe it. And just the fact that Shopify Rebellion used 4 ultimates in an eco round for CLG. CLG, that's a win all day long. The Showstopper, the Killjoy ult, the Res, the Viper ult, all coming through in order to secure that round. So CLG did a fantastic job. Once again, they'll be able to rinse and repeat with the better weaponry this time around. And the Shopify Rebellion's game plan, it it's pretty straightforward, right? I mean, they only have the mid or they have the A that they can take. But whoa, look at the ground. The lurk, it not Han, this positioning.
Yeah, but look at CLG's read, right? Like, they all pulled off of A, and they were, like, full sprinting back towards B. It not Han. Looks like she's going to be able to get away with murder back there. She still is undetected. Everyone is pulling back towards A. The spike does go down. You've got Rise watching for Claudia with the op again. Good for another one. Is it not Han's coming back? She's got the Blade Storm. She's got the Vandal, and she's got a flank. 2 have already dropped. Rise is left alone in a 1v4. Wrap that bad boy up. Shopify Rebellion get to 6.
Oh, man. CLG, they lost track. They thought there were a lot more. I mean, surely if your Jet is just W keying it down the orange alt mid area, there's got to be a lot of backup with her, right? But no, it was just her. And CLG lost track of the info. They bit, they over rotated. It left A completely open. And that Shopify Rebellion were able to sell a fake with nothing but a Jet making a little bit of noise towards alt mid here.
That is a little concerning because you're right. Not only did they bite really hard on the fake, but then they totally forgot or thought that it may have been a cross in communication, whatever it was, but that ended up being the thorn in their flesh, if you will. It kind of set that round sideways for them. And you've got to keep an eye on that, right? Because we've seen for Shopify Rebellion, they obviously like A, right? But how many different permutations of that site can you, or like how many different permutations can you hit on that site, right? They've hit the heavy aggressive in through A. They've now hit that late fake through B or through mid, and then hit back A. How many ways can you skin this thing?
That is the question, but so far, I mean, Shopify Rebellion, okay, we're seeing a little bit something different. They might be grouping back towards B here. And the thing is B is just so tricky because of these close quarters, because there's a gun called the Judge in this game and the Bucky. It can get tricky if you don't have a drone or a Skybird or a Sky Doggy style to clear out these corners. But it looks like Shopify Rebellion are okay with just a boom bot gathering that intel.
They should know at this point. And it's just pistols on the side of CLG, so they decide to group up A, gamble a little bit. Nothing doing. Lori blast packing across with the Vandal. Spotted where Rise was, but that's it for now. So they've gotten onto the site. They've taken it. The wall's going to go up at the hands of KP. And at least denies it, right? That at least delays it for a little bit. Now KP on the second attempt. The share from Naomi's just gross. But she gets cleaned up at the hands of It Not Han. After all, 3 remaining. It Not Han. Oh, Claudia with the frenzy. Good for it as Benita's coming in around as well. The Reyna with the pistol, not going to be able to provide any more magic. The res is coming through as Claudia. Oh, the wall! They're going to do it! Oh, the Nano Swarm delays it. Chobo has to go aggressive. Chobo's good for 1. Claudia drops. Chobo gets cleaned up as well. Man, that was close.
That was so close. You're right, Doug. Oh my gosh, the Molotovs coming through to save the day. Flowerful set up in that optimal post plan, and that's exactly the name of the game for Shopify Rebellion, is to be able to lean onto that kind of insurance card in those post plans. But man, those trades came through so fast. Claudia, I don't know how she won out that duel. She whiffed the knives, but somehow, some way, she's able to just jet diff on It Not Han and make that round look possible. But Shopify Rebellion, they're looking pretty right now.
They are indeed a 3-round lead as we work our way towards the last round of the half. Excellent adaptations from the attacking side, but it seems like we're going to end up right back where we left off. And Potter, you mentioned it earlier. If Rise is able to at least peek the turret and make them respect that a bit, you maybe have some room to work with, but that just hasn't been the case. Benita cheeky. Benita good for it. And she's going to dismiss out. The Blade Storm's offline. Yeah, she took out Claudia, but that's no longer a concern. The Empress has been used as well. It's Chobo. Swinging around. They're going to back up, and look, Shopify Rebellion's doing the same. There's been no real estate gathered on the other side as well. No B-Long was taken. No mid was taken.
It wasn't. And, you know, this Killjoy ult, it should come into play eventually. And here we go. They're going to fake the mid split, and they're going back to A. This is where the Killjoy ult should come up to play. But Benita, this is going to be everything. Depending on how many frags she's able to get. There's 2. Oh
And
my
there's the lockdown. You're right, there's the lockdown, so now it's going to come through. But that's the thing, is at this point, it did not go the way it intended. She should have had the spike down at this point, but she got Shopify Rebellion got mowed down by Benita in a great spot. She took space away. Flowerful had to go big there. What a turn of events, and we were just talking about it when the fake hit. There was no real estate taken away, but it was on that dummy fake that Benita said, all right, I'll do it. She takes that space away and blows the play up.
Man, good timing. Great timing for Benita to be able to just put the wrench in the works. Man, a solid A-hold as well. I mean, she started it off right here by perfectly trading out Claudia and even just securing the round almost. Woo! Shopify Rebellion. The great news for these ladies, though, is that their entire setup is so fantastic for defense. The fact that they're able to get 7 on the attack, they should look a lot more comfortable on the defenses here, more than anything else.
It was an excellent look on attack, and honestly, it was an excellent look on probably 95% of that half was played on A. We'll see what CLG have dialed up. Meanwhile, as you see on your minimap, KP has already worked all the way up B long. Rise may get in on a little bit of action, but Benita just keeps holding W, just keeps clicking.
Oh man, Benita is in such a prime spot right now. Claudia just breaks this turret, cuts noise, and watches for this re-aggression. There it is, perfectly done. And it not Han, she's got to book it. Oh, but she doesn't make it, Doug.
Now keep in mind, again, Benita on the flank. Benita spots KP. Benita cleans him up. Oh, no, excuse me. It was Rise, but the comms there were perfect. She swings out at the exact same time to leave Panini on alone for Shopify Rebellion. So CLG should take this pistol. And we feel the fact that a 7-5 lead is often not a lead at all. A secret lab flawless to bridge the gap to 1.
Ooh, man. Benita, I'm not sure where the Sage wall... Okay, so the Sage was using her wall for the retake. It's very powerful for that, especially on pistol. But there should have been an alarm bot. There should have been a turret. There should have been something that gave SR a little bit more of a tell that Benita was on that lurk. I don't know how she made it that far. But moving forward into these gun rounds, it shouldn't be that easy for Benita anymore. There should be either a Sage wall, an alarm bot, something that stops her.
Well, at least across the middle of the map, they're still not. KP with the classic, not able to land the shots. Benita cleans her up, so it's going to be easy access onto B. The site's going to be free as the remaining members of Shopify Rebellion show up to the party. Panini drops. As Chobo, let's get the spike down. And you've got this fight on the opposite side of the map that somehow goes in favor of Flowerful up against a Spectre. And now you've got to respect that Flowerful may be coming around the flank. Rise has been tagged up as well. She has to back up. Members of CLG, they're feeling the pressure. They're just kind of stuck back here behind yellow.
They are, but they've got that insurance plan. Viper Mollies should be coming into play. They're feeling pretty okay. I mean, Rise, there was a moment there, for sure. I can't believe Claudia just got classic to long range. That's unlucky. Feels bad for sure.
That feels bad. All right, so we're tied up at 7 apiece. CLG was able to win the pistol. They were able to hold serve, and they were able to knot us back up. And really, in this round, it really just felt like overwhelming numbers and a gun difference would prove to be the difference maker.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all tied up, Doug. You mentioned it. 7-5 half can just turn so quickly. And a bonus round coming up from CLG, probably fast-paced, and you can see that all 4 members very much gathered up towards A. KP is not going to wait. Whoa, this is ballsy.
Ballsy indeed. Itnot Han was up top, providing a little bit of cover. And the nade comes through as well. The wall up. So they've done an excellent job so far at denying the aggression. And now Lori, they have a clean one up as well. KP on the flank. Filthy shots. That's what I was saying in the first half, Potter. You can get up to 410, not make it past 410, and you might as well have not left your your spawn. You're not any closer to getting the spike down.
Yeah, this elbow 410 area is very tricky. KP with a beautiful shot. But, oh, she takes a lot of damage. Whoa! She's all alone all of a sudden. Oh!
What has happened?
What the?
Flowerful. Okay, so Flowerful has a Vandal, and she has a Nano Swarm and a turret as well. So she's got some util. But the problem is, take a look at the post-plant util. Naomi has 2 shock darts, not 1, but 2. Rise also has a snake bite. So you've got those lineups, you've got those post-plants, and then you also have Chobo, who's playing down in hell, making serious problems for Flowerful. She's able to swing out, and if you can isolate these gunfights, maybe, but no. CLG play it well. They take the lead back.
The double swing to just make sure everything is all gravy. Oh man, I can't believe how fast that round turned around. I thought Shopify Rebellion, that should have been a sure win. Lori got such an easy free kill to open things off, but the fact that KP gets splashed down, she has to heal, that sound cue comes up. You know there's 1-4-10 and the double swing from the elbow side and the right side. CLG just win out that trade with ease, in fact. And that's just the A site completely gone.
Yep. And think about what that does to economy, right? CLG wins the pistol, they win the next round, and then they win the bonus. SR's back on pistols. They've got Sheriffs and a Shorty in the hands of it, not Han, but that's it. And take a look at how much noise they've been able to create towards B. There's nobody on A right now.
Naomi's got to get this trade. Okay,
wow.
Panini kind of runs into that Molly. Unlucky, she was so low though, just barely surviving the bomb. The spike will get planted at A, so it's all good for CLG. Sacrificial Lamb Rise brought all the rotations out.
Yeah, this is a brutal spot here for Shopify Rebellion. Now, Naomi is dropped to make it a 2v3. Waits out the recon dart. This is certainly a doable situation here. Claudia should be able to extinguish it, though. Okay, so it's just down to it. Not Han, potentially going to save the Vandal in the next round, given how the economy has been pretty disastrous for all intents and purposes for Shopify Rebellion. Carry that into the fold, hopefully pad up some dollars. But CLG is going to take a 2-round lead. No way she gets a kill, too, but it gets cleaned up. Okay, forget what I said about the money going their way and the gun being carried into the next round. That's no longer the case.
That is no longer the case. A little bit lazy as well, I have to say. I mean, if you're going to commit to saving into the round for the entire round in that Vandal, you got to try to save it. But it not Han dashes, runs around, makes every noise in the world. CLG absolutely hunt her down and get that trade. Completely worth it for CLG. And this is a healthy buy, though. A healthy buy coming up for Shopify Rebellion. They've got some ultimates as well to work off of. Flowerful's ult is back into play. And some aggression.
Holy
Whoa.
Lori.
Lori. Beautiful spot for her.
Yeah, cheeky same little spot that we saw in the previous half from Claudia, I believe it was, who got up top. Hasn't delivered anything quite yet, but the read is right because that's exactly where CLG are right now. They've taken B long. They're all creeping that way. Rise is watching the flank, but that's it so far. Chobo looking to get the spike down, the tap, and then backs right off. I don't think they're committed to this, Potter.
They're not. And, they're going to go back. Oh! It's decent damage. Bonita, this lurk. All the timing.
They may pull back. They are going to pull back. Oh! So now at this point, you've lost your flank, but you've picked up another kill along the way. You've only got 46 seconds left, so you're running out of time. You're running out of options. It looks like CLG are going to commit on to B. The kill onto KP certainly helps, but Rise is weak. Chobo is as well. Certainly not out of the woodworks. Chobo! In on Han, just narrowly missing that shot.
30 seconds left.
Has the op. Not able to land the second one as well. What a shot from Chobo. And they're going to bring the res online with 20 seconds left. Numbers advantage goes back the way, but Rise comes back instantly from where she came from. Now Panini's left alone. She's got the Viper's Pit. Spike still hasn't been planted, and it's just on the other side of the Viper's Pit. Smoke, she was there. She had it. Oh, but a clutch kill coming through from Naomi to give CLG a 3-round lead.
What an insane round, Doug. It was just so back and forth. And I think the fact that, again, CLG, they're playing it pretty well. They're seesawing, they're going back. Claudia, she's got that mid pressure. And when your Jet is feeling that strong towards mid, she could be on top tube. She could be pushing into kitchen. As long as your Jet or your Omen, usually on Icebox, is able to at least do some damage, make some frags, that sort of info that your mid is under attack, that allows your B players to get in. And CLG, they were all over the place. Panini, that was a valiant effort, man. If she's able to kill the Sova while the other was planting, maybe there's a world.
Yeah. Yep. Shopify Rebellion choosing to take a tactical timeout, and as you look at the timeline, you understand exactly why. It's been 5 rounds in a row for CLG to kick off this half. It was a 7-5 deficit at one point, and as we mentioned, you win the pistol, you win the following, and then you win the bonus. And the economy's just busted at that point, and you're sitting pretty. And I mean, look at how much money they have. Naomi still has 6,700 credits. Claudia has 4,900 in her pocket as well. Like, they're going to be able to allocate that money around and really milk it for the next couple of rounds, even if things do go sideways.
Ballin'. Definitely ballin' right now. And oh man, SR's by. It's just not ideal. I mean, the judge is insane, but oh, the turret set. Oh, I like this setup.
Oh, they don't know she's there. Oh my gosh. 2 have gone through. Yep, Han's good for 1. Meanie drops. Han drops as well.
The damage though. And the lockdown showstopper. There's a world, Doug.
Yeah, but I think they're waiting for Rise to show up with the Viper's Pit, but I mean, I guess you have to invest that in an eco. Because don't risk it to... Oh my gosh! Rise down to 6 health. The 100 Fury's gonna come out from Naomi. Tagging, a little dancing from Flowerful. Delta in the shot, but the showstopper comes out as well as Rise drops. Or he's able to upgrade a weapon. Jobo's so weak. And Naomi has taken some damage as well, but they're gonna rotate off. They're gonna go all the way back to B. They have plenty of time. Lori, at this point, should know. With how much time there is left, she should have a decent idea that the play is no longer at A.
Wow.
30 seconds left.
The spike is going to go down. Lori, she's booking it. She's going to try to make this retake work. The fact that she expended her ultimate, she feels like she's got to make it work for her. But man, Naomi's Hunter's Fury, that just... it came in so clutch right now.
Yep.
Lori's just got a Spectre to her name. She's going to bring out the Sheriff instead.
Slower. Pretty brutal crossfire setup too. They're set up right now, Naomi and Chobo are, to where they only have to swing out if the tap comes through, right? And even in that situation, you start to work your way towards yellow. You've got an excellent crossfire as well. Very well played from CLG. 6 rounds in a row. Now, I mean, everything is going right for them.
Everything for sure. I mean, Bonita is just... she's on one right now, Doug. She's on one. Claudia's right there with her, and that was a scrappy, crappy buy. Let's be real. Shopify Rebellion,
Yep.
this time around, they should come through. They've got the better weaponry. I would have loved to see it not Han save for an operator. We saw her with the judge last round. If she just went a little bit more conservative into that one, we could have seen her with that sniper in her hands, making huge plays, but a Vandal is what she's got.
Here.
We'll see what she can do with it.
I'll be interested to see. We haven't seen very many fakes out of CLG, and they have some tools at their disposal here to where they could, if they get enough of an advantage. You see a world where Rise can work her way up. No, but the rest of the team's following as well. The wall's going to go up. The lockdown's going to follow. Claudia drops. Bonita does as well. Excellent hold from Shopify Rebellion early on. CLG have to rethink this.
Dude, at least Rise is able to get that frag. They can just wait out this KJ ult. Oh, 2 get detained. It's not going to make that much of a difference. It's just going to slow things down, but either way, I mean, Viper's Pit, if they somehow get into this B site, get the spike down, put the Viper ult down, it's 3v5, but man, it can really turn around quick.
Now, the one benefit... Okay, so that's going to give out info. Now they know where they are. You see that once that res comes through, you started to see some of the members of Shopify Rebellion rotate back towards B, and they're still working their way back. They're going to slip back into A, and it's just going to be Powerful that's there. KP with a big kill onto Benita. You know exactly where it's going. Here comes the Viper's Pit that we talked about. Chobo's going to have contact. Chobo's good for one onto Lori. And the heal's going to come through. The spike's going to go down, and here we go. Viper's Pit's going to be everything. No, the Viper's Pit, that was it. That was their ticket. Panini gets a big kill. It's just down onto Naomi and Chobo's already dropped. Naomi's going to follow shortly thereafter. The bleeding is stopped as Shopify Rebellion get one on the board.
Oh, boy, and they really, really needed that one to work out. Using that Killjoy ult. When that res came through in mid, I thought that was it, man. But Benita gets wiped out in middle by KP. Huge pickup for her, especially because she's not having the best of games right now. It is hard to get yourself back into things, back into the groove when you're on Sage, but she comes up huge with that impactful frag.
Exactly what they needed in that moment. And again, I mean, the kill also onto Rise specifically, that was their window, right? That was their win condition in that round, was playing through the Viper's Pit, denying information and buying time. And that, once that was off the table, I mean, it was for all intents and purposes, lost.
Good spams. Oh man, CLG are so broke.
And that actually might be why they're calling this timeout. Because, I mean, you think you've won 6 of your last 7, but they're calling this timeout here probably because of that, right? Think things through, figure out how you're going to want to manage your economy. You've got the Empress in the pockets of Benita, but that's really the only thing you're close to.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess Rise, I mean, she could get a gun from Chobo here. But this lead is going to dwindle, and it's going to dwindle fast if they don't secure this one.
Naomi and Claudia should both be okay, but you're right. You're that like fat bankroll that they had. We're certainly starting to see it bleed out a bit, and it's because the rounds have been so close. Yeah, they're winning all of them, but it's not without having to pay something for it. There it is. The aggression comes through as 2 kills are traded. Han gets both. Benita going in aggressive. The Lear's buying so much space. They're past 410. They're back into the back of the site. It's going to be a 3-on-3 retake for Shopify Rebellion.
That dismiss timing was beautiful stuff from Benita. Oh, and the fact that she gets one more, but she's quickly traded out. It's not Han. It's going to find Naomi. It's all down to Rise. She's got one more Molotov to her name. Oh, that kill would have been huge for her, but it's going to buy a little bit of time.
She has to be patient. To wait things out. Good for one, but Han gets the 4th on the round. Gonna get the defuse as well to take Shopify Rebellion up to 9.
So close here. Shopify Rebellion, that's exactly what they needed. They secured that round. Now CLG Red, they are broke. It's no joke. They're gonna have to come in with some sort of a half buy. I didn't see exactly what ultimates are online quite yet, but I think they gotta wait a couple more rounds before any sort of combos can come through.
So take a look at how Panini's already setting up this round. She's gonna drop the Viper's Pit, or set up to at least drop the Viper's Pit on B right off the bat, and force CLG to play either mid or A.
There it is. It's exactly as you said. The dart's not gonna pick up anything. And at this point, CLG, they've got to decide, wait, but Claudia.
Yeah. Oh, but the alarm bot.
Yeah, she could smoke it out. She's going to get that sound cue right now. Here it is. She's going to be able to pass by it. Oh, this is going to be huge, Doug.
I can't believe that they're going to try to push into this.
It's because Claudia has so much ground. Oh, they're backing up. They're going back to an A split. Claudia is flanking from screens here.
And the Viper's Pit's offline. So now they have info. Claudia was there. You called it. The flank was there. It blew it up. Now it's just on Han. Han has a blade storm. The leader was a bit late, but the blades don't land. Claudia cleans that kill up as well. They're able to get onto A for free. And Claudia gets a 3rd.
Holy. Claudia just single-handedly winning this round out for Shopify Rebellion. There's a double flank going on, but look at Rise. She's got her teammate and Naomi right here with her. Not that she needs her. That's a clean double kill for her. CLG Red, a beautiful round coming into this one. You can see the communication coming through. The Viper's Pit. It's supposed to work better than that, but it didn't. And CLG, they just... Claudia, man. A lot of map control there. A lot of impact. Beautiful stuff.
And huge love to the observers for catching that, right? For catching the cloud burst, to have her move around that alarm bot, to be able to really exploit the map. That's why, I mean, in an ideal world, that alarm bot's enough, right? But again, super well played by Claudia. Now she's got the Blade Storm online. The only lighter situation that we got here is Benita has a Bulldog. But man, they're heavy going B this time. You've also got, as we mentioned, Benita playing back, making sure there's nobody working their way at the middle of the map. Or A. They're definitely going B.
Just the insta-plant coming through. Panini took so much damage there. She's unable to get in a position to delay the plant with her kit. And Claudia's just playing so forward right now. Got the Vandal in her hands. Oh, she misses though.
Bulldog taking care of business as you see Shopify Rebellion slowly start to creep their way forward to try to take the site back. Chobo, that's a big kill. She's got the res as well. You hear the Empress coming online as Naomi's getting in on the action. Benita through the smoke gets another one as KP trades it out onto Chobo. Rise, despite continuing to tick away. Panini has to go in aggressive. She manages to get one on Rise. Understanding that Naomi's there as well. KP starting to stick the defuse. 100 Fury's going to come out as Benita goes in aggressively. Whoa. Naomi gets cleaned up. The kill comes through. No more chance at a defuse. What? And Benita gets the last one. A jumping shot to give Panini the business. The 3K on the round to take map 1. That was filth.
That was... That's a slap in the face, Doug. If you're going to close out the round like that... The message has been received, Benita. We get it. You're insane. But holy crap, you just jumping headshot with the Bulldog. That's, whew, CLG sending a message, Doug.
Yeah, the message has been sent loud and clear. Folks, we're going to cut to a break. When we return, map 2. Don't go anywhere.
Got the money in the bank. Hit you with the... Money in the bank. Money in the bank. Hit you with the 808. Hit you with the... Hit you with the bank. Hit you with the... Hit you with the 808.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Verizon VCT Game Changers presented by Dignitas. And woo, our last matchup of the day is already popping off. And let's talk about it. I'm just going to get my Chipotle out just for a second because we're going to go over the Chipotle replays. Right, guys? First of all, let's talk about how Flower falls. Killjoy, I just love her on Killjoy. And her nanostorms are so integral. But you guys, Benita on Reyna is just cracked, Doug.
She's just so freaking good. And there were so many, I think the thing, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. It's not just kills, right?
Yeah.
Potter called it yesterday. Stats don't tell the whole story. It's not just kills. It's high impact kills. It's kills that have the difference to flip a map. And Benita did that more times than I could count, right? It felt like all of her kills were high impact kills. So many times she blew the map up. She played Reyna to perfection.
Especially this last round right there in that replay that you saw there, it was such a huge swing in momentum for CLG Red and for Claudia in particular, just the space that she was getting. And this is CLG Red looking mighty fine because versus Dig earlier, there was a lot of questions on how they're going to default, how Claudia is going to transition being that new member. But it looks like these ladies, the communication is on point right now.
Oh, dude, Claudia. I mean, we just keep talking about her. I just want a Claudia, like, platform, like, a little picture thing. Is that weird? Anyways, she's amazing. I don't know what's going to happen here after all of this. If there's some communications on maybe squatting up. I don't know. I'm not privy to that kind of information. But nonetheless, some fun information here. Not fun, really. But, Doug, you touched a little bit on it about how, this is really spicy, by the way. That similar map cycle, if you will, but
yeah,
the thing is last time CLG was the top pick, right? They got first pick, so they actually chose Icebox last time, and Shopify took it from them. So it's like they did both. They flipped it this time. So Shopify got to choose this time, and they said, "Oh, we beat you on that map, so we're gonna choose it again." And literally the same identical score line, 13-9. Now, so again. CLG then picking split here as Shopify did them last time, and then CLG won it, so that's why they're choosing it. But then the kicker here is we're not going to bind, we're going to be going to Breeze, and we have been talking about this all event long, is Shopify Rebellion's strats on Breeze. So we got to get there first though, guys. So it's split first. That's what we're going to be going through. Did you guys get the chance to catch any of that beforehand? With the these two?
Yeah, and that's honestly why I'm so excited, right? Like, this split map was so heavily in favor of CLG, and that's kind of alluding back to what we were touching on a minute ago. You're seeing some of these mind games played out where, like, all right, I'll pick the map that you picked in the previous round just to show you that I can beat you at and be better than you. And unfortunately for Shopify Rebellion, it didn't work out, but it was such a good performance out of CLG Red on split, specifically Rise. Plus 12, 19-7. +1 on first contact. Rise was incredible, and she did it on the Viper as well, so I'm excited to see if that comes back out. And on KP, on the side of Shopify Rebellion, we talked about the flex capabilities that she brings into the fold.
Yeah.
Played a Sky last time, and Sky is just so good on this map.
Yeah, so good. Just like my burrito bowl. Ugh, this is the best, you guys. I hope you got some. But hey, without further ado, it's map number 2 right now. Let's see what happens. Will Shopify go home, or will CLG be sent away themselves? You know what? It's fine. I'm just thinking about this food. You guys, take it away with the SIG Agent Selects.
And make me hungry talking about Chipotle this entire time. Thank you so much, Lucy. Yes, Agent Select just around the corner. Starting to see some of these picks come through. Again, Flowerful played KJ in the last map, the last series on Split as well. So seeing a bit of the same. Panini on the Omen so far. So good. It seems like, yeah, it's going to be run it back from top to bottom.
Running it back for sure. And, I think Lucy definitely hit the nail in the head there with their point about the fact that these are swapped. Both of these teams are trying to rematch each other. They said, look, you got the one up on me last time. We know exactly what your game plan is, and we're just better. So I like the confidence coming out from both squads. I wonder if CLG have a different game plan through here, though, because last time it was a little bit more one-sided. I don't know if they have as much information about SR that they think they do.
Yeah, potentially. Potter, they started off 10-2.
Yeah.
On the defensive side, like they had SR's number the entire time. This time it's going to be Shopify Rebellion who's starting off on the defense, and that was much more competitive. Now, the problem with that was, as I mentioned, it was a 10-2 half in the first half. So once Shopify Rebellion tried making it competitive, it was just too late, right? Like the deficit was way too big. But now, knowing that they're starting off on defense, maybe they can break things up a little bit and make it more competitive.
Absolutely, and we're gonna see a complete change in playstyle. Bonita usually does lean onto this breach for this map, but everything we know about Bonita, her playstyle, it is completely changed when a breach is put into play. So it'll be interesting to see what CLG. It's gonna have to be in the form of Chobo to kind of make up for that lack of pressure.
Love this setup here. So the Viper wall goes up, and that blocks off top ramps and heaven, and then you've got the smoke back towards defender spawn. The only place you get vision is coming in through screens, just like Panini's able to do here. Bonita got one onto Flowerful. It got traded out. Claudia made her way back into the belly of the beast. The elbow, the overwhelming presence of CLG there was just way too much for Shopify Rebellion. They have to give up the site.
Claudia, the updraft, that sound cue, it should have been given, but that's such a beautiful shot on Han.
Holy cow.
At least Han does do some decent damage, but Chobo, she's so quick. It's just all down to KP. She's got plenty of health, but 1 versus 4. The one bird that she has tries to be clever with it, but CLG, they're not going to give her anything here.
Nah, man, that was beautiful from Chobo. And the funny thing is, like, you touched on that, right? It needed to be on Chobo on that fight. Throws that bad boy in reverse, back it on the way up. Manages to land the kill anyway. And, of course, as I'm giving her a little bit of love, a little bit of gas, she does drop. KP was good for a second one as well, but the pistol certainly going in favor of CLG. And it was a stylish one, too, right? 2 big kills that we both went, dang, that was gross.
Yeah, definitely stylish for sure. It's just so crucial that Claudia really made the space there, made it into elbow, and made sure that she traded out Bonita because Panini was super low back behind that map area, and that was just the A site falling completely there. CLG has a fast-paced pistol coming out right off the gate.
Shopify Rebellion showing heavy presence. Yep, in a garage. They follow with the flash. The Roomba's there as well. Trying to blast through smoke. Panini, hello. Greeted with 3 members of CLG.
So
Claudia's able to get 1. Flowerful trading it out as they're going to try to work on A. Flowerful's alone. She's on an island here, and she's going to get cleaned up by the Bulldog of Bonita, man. There's just something about Bonita with that Bulldog, which is way too much for teams to handle. Chobo looking for a second as well. The dance around the paint shells. It's all good.
So fast-paced, Doug. So fast-paced. Just booking it from middle into ropes there. That's a decent flash, but yeah, it's just should be a wipe up, a clean. Okay.
And he's got Seeker. Okay.
That's huge.
You're right. It should have been a wipe up. It should have been easy clean. But KP made that interesting. And you're right, Potter, break that down for me. Why is that such a big deal?
It's huge because even on the pistol, in an impossible 1v4, KP went away with, I believe, was it 2 kills or 3 kills? Then in this round,
2.
another impossible scenario. But think about this round. It's going to be a full buy, and she's got her ultimate in play now. Because of that, the Jellies, I mean, they've got an ult, CLG don't. So even in a loss, you take what you can get, and Shopify Rebellion, hopefully because of that, they're able to kind of reap their rewards coming into this one. It'll be curious to see how they utilize these Jellies, but it looks like it's just going to be a B hit here.
Yeah,
straight up.
I don't know how this is happening. Naomi's starting off with 33 health, but Chobo manages to get, manages to get the kill onto Panini. KP going doggy style, not getting anything going quite yet. An excellent flash. It should be a ton of info, but there's no swing on it. Spike goes down. They have such a good setup, Potter. They have such a good setup. 2 on that high-low right there, and the Rolling Thunder. They're fully investing into it. The flash comes out from KP, Bonita dancing around the pillar. Spots Powerful. Gonna land the shots. Oh my gosh, Lori.
Whoa.
Lori, that was gross. Lori looking for the second. The advantage. She gets a third. Claudia trades it out, but the damage has been done. Claudia's good for a second one as well. She's swinging around looking for blood. She smells it in the water. They're running for the fences. CLG, once again, much like we saw on the first map, Potter, you win. Like, economy's in a bad shape here.
It is, man. It happened so fast. The fact that both squads used two huge ultimates in the form of the Jellies first and then the Breach ult, and nothing happened, Doug. It was just a standstill, just bought time. But the fact that CLG were in the position with the spike planted, that time will always be more advantageous to them. And even though Lori got some beautiful shots off here, CLG, that was just a victory for them. They just pounced onto the B site, full send all 5, and they're rewarded for it.
Now look at this buy that they've got going on here for Shopify Rebellion. A Sheriff, a Judge, a little bit of light armor for most. That wall has gone up in Garage to deny any entry that way. Also pick up the ult orb, get it in the pockets of Lori. So now she's got that showstopper online. This KP looking to clear things out. Get some info. Oh, nothing doing.
If CLG aren't careful, though, the birds and the Judge combo here at this close quarter can be pretty spicy. So good on them to be a little more cautious in that small choke point. Panini is kind of alone towards this mid. That smoke should buy her some time.
Oh, and room for KP to work.
Whoa. Dude, this is where Sky shines. Sitting behind a smoke, birding through at the last minute. Oh, boy.
It becomes a pop flash. Need the pop flash. Oh, no! Claudia swings at just the right time. The Judge that we so highly built up, not going to be a factor. Claudia takes so much space away, gets deep into the defender spot. Spots all 3 of them jumping into heaven. They know exactly where they are. Benita's going to get the spike down. You see Rise is showing up for help. Claudia gets punished by the Sheriff. Rise has to back up. Good flash, good swing, but a better trade by it, not Han. However, both of them drop. Lori and Flower will follow shortly thereafter. CLG get to 4. Now, I got to talk about economy again, because that was also a mixed buy, but an invested one from Shopify Rebellion at that. 3 rifles, if I'm not mistaken, and then the Judge. That was not cheap.
It wasn't indeed. And oh man, KP could have really just had quite the round for herself. And again, we're going to see another scrappy buy. Lori's got nothing. The one thing she's got going for her is that showstopper. It looks like she's coming towards mid. Potentially, these ladies are going to try to run it down and find an opportunity for themselves. But as I say that, CLG is running it down. Chobo going in with her rocket. And even though Flowerful gets a kill, the rocket should be coming her way soon.
Oh, Claudia good for one with the Blade Storm. The aggression, the denial of space, and the kills to follow up. Claudia good with 3 with the Blade Storm already. Looking for more. Unfortunately, she's not going to find anything. That way, as KP's position has been given away. The alarm bot doing its job. KP looking to stay alive. I was tough for Lori there too, because as you mentioned, she has the showstopper, but she wasn't able to buy. She wasn't able to afford a blast pack, right? So you take that aggressive go button out of the equation, and the showstopper just doesn't pack the same punch.
Yeah, and I think Shopify Rebellion need to call a timeout here. They need to just recollect themselves. It's a bit wonky. You know, even the fact that KP is on a flank, has full util, isn't able to help slow down this hit that's coming. It seems like maybe the ladies need to just reiterate their game plan, what their strengths are, what their win conditions are. I think KP needs to be able to rotate fast, help hold the site with those birds, slow things down, create opportunities for her teammates to be able to trade off of, because that's twice now that we've seen Shopify Rebellion coming through with the flank, and it doesn't really do much on split.
Right. And again, look at the dollars. Right, look at the money on the side of Shopify Rebellion. 1,800. The most anyone has, KP's at 31. That's not enough to buy very much at all. Right? Like they're so broken. They've been broke, I would argue, mismanaging their money, but it's been this very interesting juggle of how they manage that out for this entire half. And you're feeling some of that payoff already. And then not only is that bad, but then you look at the side of CLG. 7,400 in Naomi's pockets. 68 in Chobo's pockets as well. Like, they've got money for days, Potter.
They are balling. They are certainly balling right now. And this is a decent spread. They're just slowing down. They know Shopify Rebellion is struggling on the finances. They just want to default it up, and that's a beautiful pickup. Claudia's got the backup. She does get traded out. This is a quick 3v3. Naomi's able to get the spike, and Chobo should know that the B site is weak.
Spots Panini up in heaven. Sheriff not going to land as they've made their way through. Should also have a decent idea of where KP is. Holy smokes, that timing. Yeah, they're going hunting for her. The other flash is coming out. Doesn't land. Rise on the flank. Good for one. Man, she got messed up. Not able to land the second. Panini Sheriff just too good. The spike has gone down. Look at them kind of rotate around each other.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. I mean, Chobo has the paranoia.
Good made.
She's able to dodge out on that one, but spike is planted for the CLG ladies, and yeah, this is just too tough, Doug.
Yeah, this is a brutal spot to be in. But I want to say that they weren't supposed to win that round because they had this light pistol weird buy. But again, that's been the case for most of the half.
Yeah.
Right now, they should be on full rifles. I think the other thing too is in that moment, right? You saw Lori had 2 blast packs and she had that showstopper. When you group mid in a situation like that, she was also in the back of the line, so she's looking to see if she can find a bunch, right? If she can find a bunch, she's certainly going in with that showstopper to try to flip things up. Never netted, and she was the first one to drop. So fortunately for her, she is able to carry that into this round, along with 3 other ultimates on the side of Shopify Rebellion.
And it does seem like the CLG ladies could get Bonita the orb, get that breach ult online. It doesn't look like they want to contest B main as of yet. They did take care of the Sage wall in mid.
yeah, they did. They had like a personal vendetta. I guess.
It's gone. It's just out of there, Doug.
Oh, excellent slow orb. That did not. So like that flash combo into Mail is often met with some go-go juice shortly thereafter, but the slow orb counters that. It slows things down, as is aptly named. Coming out from it, not Han, to buy a little bit more time. The Seekers have also been used. No presence across ropes. No presence up across the middle of the map, so they have at least that much info gathered.
Yeah, and you know, the timing of KP Seekers there is probably more detrimental than anything else. Okay, she does get the one, but the dash from Claudia is so quick, and she's even rewarded with another. That should be the B site falling, unless Omen can make some hero plays happen.
What the heck? That was so fast. They're going to rotate off the site. They also drew out the lockdown, excuse me, from Flowerful. All of the ultimates that they started off with are just down to 1 now from It Not Han, and she's not around. Numbers advantage, however, for the first time in a little while in favor of Shopify Rebellion. The clock is also not CLG's friend. They've got to get onto the site. They've got to get the spike down. KP good for 1. Panini good for the second one as well, and Shopify Rebellion are finally on the board.
Thankfully, Shopify Rebellion are able to get the first round on the board. It took a lot of ultimates and it took a lot of work, but the ladies are able to convert. And what I was saying was I was nervous for KP and nervous for Shopify Rebellion because the timing of those the jellies coming out from Sky was just the most unoptimal. That was when CLG were spread out in that default. There was 1 outside A, 2 towards mid, 1 outside B. And when your jellies are going in every which way, every which direction, it doesn't give you quite the information you want. So you have to stand your ground. You have to stay separated. But somehow they do make that work. And there's that pop flash. The slow should be coming up to follow up as well.
Oh, look at that. She's backed off. It Not Han's rotating back towards A.
Off your feet!
Huh.
Rolling Thunder come out. So Trailblazer did not spot Rise, so they don't know that she's there. It looks like they're going to try to go to B anyway. Claudia has taken up Heaven, as has Chobo. They're going to get onto B, and they should be able to do so relatively effortlessly. The Alarm Batu to deny entry from the Defender spawn. Util invested that way. Benita should be able to get the spike down.
Shopify Rebellion, they don't really have the util to make this retake work in their favor. Chobo finds another, just quickly repositions, finds a second, and it's just all down to Panini. At this point, she's gonna tuck tail, maybe find an exit, but the round is lost.
There's one exit. Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's not a whole lot else you can do here. I think maybe a little bit of insult added onto injury is that Rise is going to be able to take, although she has died, this Viper's Pit into the next round as well. If that had been dicey, if that had been a bit more okay.
Just getting a
That
lot
had been
done.
a bit more yeah, I mean, but the thing is, Potter, like, CLG, they're sitting on bank, right? Like,
Yeah.
even if you drop those 3 there, it's certainly not optimal. You want to be able to continue to carry that money in, carry those weapons into the next round. They're still fine. They can still buy up.
But it gets even worse than that too, Doug. I mean, just look at the ultimates coming online and starting to come online for CLG.
Yeah.
It's all coming through. Killjoy ult, one more. The showstopper, the Viper's Pit, as you mentioned. I mean, this is just going to get tougher and tougher. Shopify Rebellion, they've got to put a stop to this.
Money-wise, not doing them any good. Bonita, great shots. On Delorious, she's cleaned up as well. Spike is also precariously sitting in sewers right now. But it looks like Claudia's going to rotate back, pick that bad boy up. And they're going to try to work the middle of the map. Nice shot by Panini.
Yeah, I think that's like 4 kills for Panini in the last 30 seconds, including the exits that she got last time. So hopefully that's good signs to come. But CLG Red, they're just regrouping. They're hitting back towards A. And look at KP. She's left. It's all onto Panini. All on her lonesome.
Info. One. Not able to get much more. A good bit of damage that felt like was dealt. Actually, no, it wasn't nearly as much as it looked like. But they're going to be able to get onto the site. CLG is Lori's going to get the res, and that should be very safe. So Claudia gets a spike down. The Blade Storm is in her back pocket as well. Great Cloud Burst to deny some info. Nice shots onto from Chobo as well, onto Flowerful to clean her up. And the thing is, Shopify Rebellion don't have much else to work with. They don't have ultimates. They don't have teammates. They don't have health. Because Naomi's been able to lock this down. It's just on to KP, and KP gets cleaned up as well. Left A, came back to A, and unfortunately was greeted with a couple of bullets to clean her up. CLG continue to pile it on a 7-round lead here, continuing to pile up the money. They're sitting pretty.
Oh, man. This is starting to get tough to watch, Doug. Claudia is just not stopping. 444 ACS. She's wherever Claudia wants to go at this point right now, she's going to go. And it's up to Shopify to try to put a stop to it. But at every point, besides Panini, really, they're just losing out on the duels. And if they're not losing out on the duels, they're backing up because they can't hold their choke point. The CLG is completely in control. And SR are getting bullied in the server right now.
Oh, Panini looking to pile onto that magic. Got the Sheriff, the Paranoia, and the Flash. They managed to push her off, but look at the rest of the map, right? Like, you can run down or try to run down Rise, but it's not going to matter. KP once again is left alone. They only had Sheriffs to work with, but CLG, I think the other impressive thing about this is that it's easy to get complacent in situations like this. You're up big, you maybe get a little lazy, you get a little undisciplined, but and this is where it's often exposed, right? It's in pistol situations, or maybe they have like a judge or a shorty, but they're still playing so disciplined, they're still playing so careful, they're checking all of the boxes to get to this point. A 9-1 lead in the first half. This has been a masterclass performance.
Whew, definitely masterclass. And I'm trying to think in my head right now, Doug. I'm trying to figure out some sort of win condition, something that Shopify Rebellion can do for themselves to at least get back into this match. But the options, they're just dwindling. They're getting slimmer and slimmer, and we've got to get these ladies activated. Lori's got to get involved somehow, some way. We've got the jellies back into play once again for KP.
You should run.
Yeah, but Potter, 5 ultimates. Well, 4 now because they just invested 1. And there's no counter to this, right? Like, they can't do anything to destroy it. They can't do anything to stop it. The showstopper coming through from Chobo. And the blast onto the back of the site. Oh my gosh. Going all the way in. Yeah, probably in part to the nano swarms, but Chobo is just taking so much space away. And the Viper Fist coming out as well. Look at how Naomi's waiting on the flank. Yep, Naomi good for 1. She knows exactly where they are. The Trailblazer does connect, though. They're going to swing out with it. Naomi's not able to clean that up.
Oh.
Han gets on to Rise as well. Now Benita's going hunting. The flash there didn't matter. And Benita has more CC to work with. It not Han on the other side. She wins that duel. Use it in a 1v2. Both Chobo and Claudia slightly weak. There's no high-low stack set up. They're going to put the wall up, and the swings at just the right time. Claudia good for 3, 10-1. This just looks too easy for CLG.
A double swing to even add insult to injury there. CLG, they can do no wrong at the moment. Claudia still hasn't died in the last, I don't know how many rounds. She is in every duel. She's everywhere. She's taking all the map that she wants. And this was a 3-man flank. A 3-man flank, and somehow Naomi finds the first clean kill. Benita just adds the breach ult to end it all. Man, Shopify Rebellion, they're running out of time here. Fast.
Potter, that time is probably gone at this point. That's certainly going to help, though, as Claudia and Benita are both offline for the rest of the round. Yeah, Lori got dropped as well, so the showstopper's not going to be brought into the fold. But this is important because we haven't seen many moments where Shopify Rebellion has gotten these early picks so far. From the shadows. Clearing out the middle of the map.
Oh,
Great
no!
swing by Chobo. My goodness, gets a second. KP trades it out. The numbers advantage still in favor of Shopify Rebellion, at least for now. Rises again. Excellent timing and lands the shots onto KP. Equalize things to a 2v2. They've gotten onto the site. They should be able to get the spike down. The one thing here is that Flowerful has the lockdown. She can certainly pin them back on that site depending on where Rise plays, but Rise has already worked her way up ramp.
Oh,
Waiting
this
patiently.
duel is everything, Doug. All the time.
Oh, the
Wait.
timing!
Oh my god.
The timing! Panini's good for it. There's the lockdown that I was mentioning. So now, oh, it's not deep enough. It's not deep enough. Naomi can sit back just behind it. And she's not, you're waiting for the lockdown to go off there, but Naomi lands the shots. Naomi looking for the second. No, Flowerful wins that duel. And it's an exact replica of what we saw the first time these two teams met on this map. A 10-2 half in favor of CLG.
Dominant stuff coming out for CLG. Even this round, I believe it was a 5v3. Shopify Rebellion found the first 2 frags onto Benita and Claudia. But somehow, some way, even this round is nearly takes everything out to be able to get the round on the board. And CLG, what a dominant first half here.
Yeah, Potter, I think you're right. We're just like split-second decisions away from being 11-1, possibly 12-0, right? Like, that's how complete of a performance it was from CLG. There were a couple things that managed to go the way of Shopify Rebellion, but all of those were labored, right? All of them came difficult. There was nothing easy for Shopify Rebellion. Now they're on the attack, though. Maybe they can find better success on this half of the map. Heavy Killjoy presence towards A.
Claudia's about to run into a lot of action. She's just got the classic to her name, but the quick help from Breach is right there in mail. And the dog for info.
Flash, the blast pack, the excellent counter flash like you mentioned. Breach was there for help, and actually it's Benita that does drop at the hands of Panini. Rise is going to fall as well as 3 members of CLG have met their demise. Only Chobo and Naomi remain.
Finally, some frags and trades going in the favor of Shopify Rebellion. And although Lori goes down, I mean, it's 4v2. This should be easy peasy for Shopify Rebellion. But I mean, as I say that, I'm even getting nervous myself because these rounds that should have been easy have been a bit of a struggle. And even killing the turret is a struggle. Oh no!
Chobo with 1 health left. Oh. Surely not. I mean, in a 1v3, she literally has 1 HP, and she's got to get to the spike. They're all going to swing at the same time. Panini gets to 3, and that's the one, I don't know, I guess if you want to call it like a sliver of hope, one positive point in this, it's been that Panini has played very well, right? It was at the end of the previous half, into this half. Panini's fragging out, but that's really all Shopify Rebellion have going for them right now.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And sometimes that is all it takes, is to have that one player leading the charge and just leading by example, really. But the scoreline, it's so tough here, Doug. It is split though, you know, and it's weird and wonky that we saw such a lopsided attack side on split. So maybe, you know, maybe today is just opposite day. And Shopify Rebellion, they're about to change everyone's mind.
Well, Choba and Naomi have a chance. Oh, boy. Well, they had a chance at making it interesting. If KP avoids disaster there. Certainly not worse for wear. 46 health. Flowerful only has 20 as well. But again, CLG find themselves in a pretty substantial 1vx with no real utility. Now, Naomi did upgrade a weapon. Doesn't have any armor, though. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say for Naomi, if she gets the frag somehow and just makes the economy funky, but okay. Shopify Rebellion, they handle it well. Flowerpool's gonna find it. And that's the 4th on the board in the second half. You take what you can get though, Doug.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, 1,000% in a situation like this as well. I think it had to be perfect play there from Naomi. And even then, that would have been a pretty difficult situation. So for Shopify Rebellion, Lori's going to bring in a rifle along with it, not Ham, but the Spectres are going to remain on the other members. While for CLG, it's going to be a pretty comfortable buy across the board. And this is the moment where things kind of flipped in the first half. It was, the bonus was 1 from CLG. If Shopify Rebellion want a chance at this thing, it's got to happen here. Excellent flash. Oh my gosh, almost didn't get 1. Manages to get the 2nd as well. It was close. It wasn't pretty, but I guess it doesn't have to be if it pays off like that. Rise is dropped, however. Shopify Rebellion blast onto the back of A. They're going to be able to get the spike down. It's going to be a retake attempt from CLG.
Retake attempt. There's not a single ult in play coming in. I love that the gimmicky play that we just witnessed from Claudia and Benita towards the B halls, but this is going to be a 3v3 retake. Lori still has the paint shells. Oh, beautiful flash, but she just doesn't get anyone.
KP alone. KP messed up. The bonus isn't 1, and you know, we were talking about how this will play out because of the deficit that they're in and because of split, really. You win the bonus, you almost have to, right? In this situation, you almost have to win the bonus for things to swing back the other way in a considerable way, right? But Shopify Rebellion expected not to win that round, and it certainly goes in favor of CLG. The deficit is just so big that I mean, you can't afford to lose rounds, period, here if you're Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, absolutely. Just literally no wiggle room here. And it looks like all 5 members of Shopify Rebellion are grouped up towards this A.
Nothing on the flash.
Uh-oh.
Claudia. Oh! Big kill from Lori. The jellies are going to come out as well. You hear the ult from Panini. She's gotten onto the back of the site. So they've conceded A, right? Shopify Rebellion have full control. Again, CLG is going to fight for the retake.
And this is probably the most advantageous round we've seen
Shopify
Rebellion in. Flowerful is good for the 1, and Lori's in the prime spot. The timing of that flash as well encourages her to take that peek, finds the 1. And Naomi and Benita at this point.
What a shot.
Okay, that's okay. She's using her ult.
Oh.
They're going in.
I mean, this could be Charlotte breaks the camel's back, but the flash is so good. The flash is so good. Out of Shopify Rebellion, there were three instances in which the flash won them a duel.
But was that Benita? Was that a team flash?
You might be right. See if we can get that back. You may be right.
Oh my. I think it was, Doug. I think it was.
I think you're right.
Unlucky. Oh man. You know, it was close though. And they're keeping the pressure on. They know they're in the lead. They know that they can have some wiggle room to try to go for those heroic retakes. I think if Naomi was just a little more patient and made Shopify Rebellion make the move because of that lockdown, maybe we would be talking about something a little bit different here. But either way, attack does come out for CLG. Their money is not looking great. But they've got 2 ults, they've got the knives, they've got the showstopper. And because of this breach, man, there's just so many creative plays you can do, even on these scrappy buys. So I'll be curious to see what CLG does coming into this round.
See Chobo bringing in a little Bucky action. I don't think we've seen very much of that at all. At least in the games that we've called. Claudia is going to have that Blade Storm as well in conjunction with Chobo's Showstopper. Meanwhile, on the side of Shopify Rebellion, you've got Flowerful and Lori packing in a little bit of punch as well. And it seems like a pretty defaulty start. You see KP looking to try to get info. Yep, should get info on Rise up top ramps. But a super defaulty look so far.
You can see there's a bit of a trap set up in mid right now. You've got Claudia just being patient towards this ropes area. They want these Shopify Rebellion ladies to get closer in this choke point before they make contact. But as I say that, Claudia gets shot in the face a little bit, loses that HP out. Shopify Rebellion, they're being very cautious. The hit is coming towards A, and there's not a single defender here.
Lori gets up top. Claudia is now coming along with that Blade Storm. Oh my gosh, Flowerful. Flowerful. Yep, Flowerful. Flowerful, man. That flank was just so good. Flowerful was in a great spot to blow that up. Lori's down to 10 health, but Naomi and Benita are even worse off. Naomi drops. Benita has 5 health. The Secret Lab's flawless from Shopify Rebellion. Exactly what they needed. And again, in situations like this, any win is a big one, right? Like, it doesn't matter if they have pistols. It doesn't matter if they have full rifles and armor across the board. Every win is a big momentum shift your way.
Absolutely. I will be curious, though, if the operator is going to be coming out for Claudia in this round. No, it doesn't look like anyone has the finances for it. But yeah, it's such an uphill battle still at this point. Yeah. Shopify Rebellion, we talked about last time they didn't have any wiggle room or any room for mistakes. The same applies here once again. And very patient stuff. All 5 members grouped up towards this A. Look at this mid-round aggression. Look at the CLG. They've pushed. Yep. They know this A hit is coming.
Mm-hmm. Showstopper coming in from Lori. Chobo! Chobo manages to get the kill. Yeah, gets traded out, but that's big. Because now there's no presence there. Lori's going to come out with the swing. Han with a great kill onto Rise. Naomi's going to drop as well as Han puts a team on her back. Lori and Flower will follow up. That's big, Potter. That's so big.
You're absolutely... Just imagine Chobo, just if she gets a cleaner kill, her showstopper was online that entire time. Unfortunately for her, the moves were coming out. Lori satcheling through with the rocket, just 180s, and is able to take her out. Man, that could have been insane for CLG if Chobo survived. Yep.
Oh, so she has a rifle here, a judge in the hands of Rise, and then pistols the rest of the way for CLG. Meanwhile, for Shopify Rebellion, full work. You see the Viper's Pit has been used across the middle of the map. I love that usage as they stick the fight back into A lobby. Han already good for 1, but Chobo trades it out. We talked about that Phantom in her hands. It seems to be paying off, at least for now.
Chobo's just barely limping right now. Rise has full control of mid. These sound cues should get her to communicate, and you can see that Benita, she's on her way, booking it to provide some assistance to Naomi.
You should
Only a
run.
sheriff in hand, but this utility, it should create some pressure.
That's big. That's that judge offline. There was a possibility if you get a good look of investing the Rolling Thunder there, but I mean, that's gone. And now,
Whoa!
oh, they have to flip back.
Oh.
You have to respect that space. And with 35 seconds left, all of a sudden, the Rolling Thunder the Rolling Thunder could have made a big difference there, but Flowerful comes up big, gets 2 key kills to leave Chobo alone. This round is certainly going to go Shopify Rebellion's way.
Oh, boy. The spike's gonna go down. Chobo should follow. Okay, I think Chobo has HRTF right there on, and the sound cues, the footsteps were a lot louder to her than it was, because I think she thought they were a lot closer than they actually were, because again, that could have been huge for Chobo if they were just a little bit closer. She gets those rocket kills, but they were just able to tuck. They heard the noise. Flowerful took that opportunity to lurk into B, and the site just fell.
I'm ready.
All right, so take a look at this cheeky setup here. CLG have 3 and utility like crazy over by A, along with Bonito with the Rolling Thunder, and that's exactly where Shopify Rebellion are pushing up to. The Jellies have come out. The Viper's wall goes up. Chobo is in a great spot here to make some magic happen. There's the Rolling Thunder, but it's too early. It's too early. It's only going to connect onto 1. Yeah, Lori drops, but the thing is Shopify Rebellion have not committed anything else, so they can flip the map.
They can, but they used so much to try to get into the site, right? KP probably used at least 2 birds. She definitely used the jellies. That's a lot of utility expended to have Lori find some success, but Benita responds right back. Shopify Rebellion, they're down a man. And I lied, that was 3 birds. KP has no more flashes left. She's going to try to get a lurk down, at least create some noise towards this mid to have some sort of a bluff, make CLG not all be stacked towards A, but Killjoy, all util still in play.
Chobo's in a great spot too, because you have to check the 50. You have to check the 50! Chobo's good for it onto Han. The swing! Oh, the timing was just so bad, but hopefully with a bit of damage, they can make something happen. Flowerful cleans up Anita. Naomi, good for it, and the spike drops. It's a big kill. Op in the hands of Claudia, too. Flowerful trades it out. There comes Claudia. There's the op. There's the shot. The spike drops again. It's Panini who's going to have to get through both of them with 10 seconds left. Pick up the spike and get it planted with bullets flying all over the place. CLG get to map point.
Oh man, when things start to get a little dicey, just put the operator in Claudia's hands, and that is 29 frags for this woman. She's looking at a 30 bomb potentially, and oh my, just the slimmest of margins. Things are happening. If Lori was able to just find 1 frag going into A, things should have looked differently, but Naomi had a great response. Bonita not shy to just expend her ulti quick there. And once again, Shopify Rebellion, they're on the back foot. There was a bit of a comeback in play, but hopefully the ladies are not completely deflated here.
We haven't seen very many looks towards B out from Shopify Rebellion, and that looks like that's exactly where they're going to go. Claudia has an op. Panini looking like she's going to set up for the paranoia on the swing as well. Potentially a wall and then a blast pack to follow up. But now they know. They know Claudia just narrowly misses. There's the paranoia. The blast pack comes through as Lori gets onto the back of the site. Lori not able to land shots the first time, but she does the second time around. Claudia stays alive with just a sliver of health. They've made their way onto the site. There's no flank. And because of how they played, they look at Chobo. She has to respect the flank. Rise drops. Claudia with the op, not going to connect onto it either. That should give Shopify Rebellion a lot of breathing room to plant the spike. Panini's going to get it down. Chobo's left alone in a 1v5, and they know exactly where she is as well. Shopify Rebellion, they just refuse to go away, Potter.
They do refuse. That's a beautiful shot from Chobo. Oh, that could have been a lot more damage, but there's the response. Bonita stuck in the site alone. You could see she was in the middle of trying to help Claudia survive, but Claudia was already out of there. She booked it out. Bonita gets caught using her util, and Shopify Rebellion just pounce and take that B site.
All right, let's take a look at money. Yeah, this was the concern. CLG's broke. Like, they're big broke. Right? They've got pistols and then Rise, which is interesting. So Rise is notably further away from having a Viper Pit online, but they still invested the one semi-automatic weapon in her pockets. Lori goes in aggressive with the showstopper, able to clean up Chobo and give a lot of room towards A, but the spike is nowhere near that. It's all a fake. They want to go B, they want to go mid, and they should have it for free.
They should, and yeah, you're absolutely right. The jig is up. The ladies are on the move. Lori has so much ground right now. Beautiful shot. And that's an upgraded weapon at least for Rise.
Yeah, and Claudia should be able to upgrade as well, she's got the Blade Storm. I guess you don't really need it anymore. The spike has gone down. Flowerful has the lockdown as well.
Bonita on this flank, the timing. Oh,
but she's got
the
a
jig is
classic.
up.
That shouldn't work. Okay. that should not work. Claudia's going to drop as well. Rise is left alone. And again, the gun difference, you feel it in this situation as CLG is not able to pack much of a punch at all as they drop Shopify Rebellion. It was a disastrous first half. It was 10-2 at half. They come back, winning 8 to get to this point, a 12-10 scoreline. This thing's far from over.
It is, and man, you would have never caught me saying that just even a few minutes ago. Somehow, some way, Shopify Rebellion have really made this one competitive. They do still have the Killjoy ult in play. Naomi has one to answer right back with, though. And it's kind of been the slow default that's finally been working out for Shopify.
Claudia dashing away, having to respect the potential of an op. Meanie on the swing. Claudia punishes. Han trades it out.
The res is in play here, Doug. Chobo knows it. Hold on to the nade. Oh.
We've also got dueling lockdowns. And Chobo 1 point away. There's the res. Like you said, Chobo 1 point away from having that showstopper online. Rise drops. See the ult coming through as well from Panini, trying to get back towards A. Understand that there's nobody there. The Nanoswarm gets cleaned up. Panini with 8 health, fortunately, too. That Nanoswarm goes off and she's dead. The alarm bot's going to give off position on Lori, too.
Spike is going to get planted. A Chobo. Oh, this flank. If the alarm bot is there, which the KJ has been placing it, it is there. So, oh, the timing. That could have been insane.
Shopify Rebellion find themselves again in an excellent situation in a 1v5. Bonita, save the weapon. Save what you can. Yeah, KP got locked up in that lockdown. But that is not going to really net anything as Shopify Rebellion get to 11. And my gosh, they're 1 round away from forcing overtime, Potter.
Oh, man. This is pretty wild. You know, CLG, we talked about their communication. It seemed to be on point. These ladies were riding high. The momentum was in their favor. But right now, the small audibles, it's not coming through, you know. I think somebody should have communicated to Chobo that res was in play to hold on to that nade. That's where the next fight would happen, is in that mid area. But just small things are kind of snowballing out of control here. Shopify Rebellion, they've arrived here, Doug. They were absent in the first map and even a lot of this map, but they finally arrived.
They have arrived indeed. Now, this is important in a situation like this to take a look at ultimates. And it's not really great for either team, but the gun advantage goes in favor of Shopify Rebellion. Take a look at Naomi, right? All she can bring into the fold is as a Spectre. There's not a whole lot to work with there. This is not the situation you want to find yourselves in if you're CLG. Flowerful also has that lockdown, which is obviously a very powerful ultimate to create space to deny space from the opposition and then also buy time. So if you're Shopify Rebellion, you call in this timeout, you're on the precipice of pulling off an absolutely insane comeback, but you can't lose sight of the goal on the 11th, like in the 11th hour, right? You've got to pull it off here.
Absolutely. And a lot of decisions to be made as well because the Killjoy ult is in play. And you don't want to make it very obvious. I mean, you can see CLG, they're stacked towards B as well. That is generally where the Killjoy plays come. And we've seen this before, right? The breach, the arm out, Jet will dash. As soon as this Killjoy makes any sort of a sound cue, if she makes the same mistake by pulling out the turret first again, it's not going to look pretty for Flowerful here.
Oh my gosh, they're both there now. Han's creeping up as well.
You should.
Oh!
There it is. There it is.
Oh!
The swing. Claudia's gotten 2. Understands there's a 3rd as well. Flowerful trades it out. Bonita looking for some action. Bonita gets it. The lockdown goes down as well. And the flash shows up. She's going to get the kill onto Lori. Oh, it's just down to Panini. And Panini drops CLG, avoid disaster, and punch a ticket to the grand finals against Cloud9 White.
Oh my, and what a perfect way to get over the finish line is just dominating with the composition, using Breach's kit and Jet's kit to perfection there. Just capitalizing on that sound cue. The turret goes off and boom, it's over. Just like that.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, Potter. I was scared for a little bit because that flash.
I was scared. I was right there with you, man.
I was like, where's the flash? Somebody flash. Bonita, you got to flash. But it turns out to be played perfectly.
Oh my gosh, guys, that was a nail biter. Not gonna lie, and I wanted it to go into overtime. We needed to see that. I wanted to see that. And oh man, but there was Shopify Rebellion. You know, it did end up having a better defense last time around when they matched up. And this time, Potter, to your point, like you had said, it was a little flip-floppy, right? Like the attacking side for both squads were just dominant here.
Yeah, and sometimes it gets really tricky when you win so lopsided. You don't want to throw, right? I mean, you don't want to make any mistakes, but sometimes that's exactly what just ends up biting you in the booty is you start to play a little too careful. You start to overthink things. You start to not take risks, not capitalize. And all of a sudden you turn around and you've lost 8 rounds in a row. And then it's like, what do you do next? So definitely CLG Red ladies, they were kind of falling into that